Welcome back to Those Vegan Chefs. I'm Stefan, and this channel is dedicated to making you a better vegan cook. Today, I'm going to teach you how to make a zucchini tart. We're moving into the summer season where many backyard gardeners find themselves with a ton of zucchini, and I mean a ton. This tart pairs perfectly with an arugula salad. So let's get cooking. We're going to start with slicing our onions really nice and thin. With our onions sliced, we're going to heat our pan over medium heat. We're going to add 2 to 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. We're going to add our onions. As I'm dropping them in the pan, I'm kind of breaking them up. Start sweating the onions down before we add our salt and vinegar. So we're going to cook for roughly 2 minutes on medium. You could already see the onions are starting to collapse a little bit. The volume is being reduced, and that's all I'm kind of looking for. And you could also hear some of the sizzling. That's the liquid from the onions. We're going to reduce the heat to low. We're going to start with seasoning our onions with our kosher salt. All right, we're ready to add our vinegar. Now we just need time. We need about 20 minutes of letting the onions cook and reduce the liquids and emulsifying our sauce. Here goes our cashew cream. So we have cashew pieces. We're gonna boil these for about 4 minutes, and then we're gonna let them sit in the hot water for another 4 minutes, and then we're gonna rinse and drain. We're gonna puree the cashews with plant milk. We have a tablespoon of red wine vinegar, bringing balance of the fattiness of the cashews. We have a little bit of olive oil to help adjust our consistency. Nutritional yeast, bringing some of that cheesiness and umami. And of course, salt. This is what we end up with. It has great balance. It's creamy, it's smooth, has that little bit of acid. It's a perfect base layer to this tart. We have our zucchinis. They're kind of like small side, small medium, I guess I would call them. We're basically going to just trim the 2 ends, and we're gonna slice them lengthwise about 1/4 of an inch thick. It's one of those things where we don't want it too thick, we don't want it too thin. We want the zucchini to be able to roast and kind of keep some of its texture to it. If it's too thin, it gets overcooked. If it's too thick, it won't cook enough. That's more like 1/8 of an inch, actually. We're gonna place our zucchini in a bowl. We're gonna salt our zucchini and gently massage. This is gonna help extract some of the moisture, which is really important so that our zucchini tart does not become kind of watery. And it also help it kind of caramelize on the outside. Now we're just gonna gently just make sure we're kind of coating the zucchini. We're gonna let this sit for roughly 10 minutes. Now it's time to dry the zucchini. Place them on a paper towel. See, there's actually a good amount of liquid down there. I'm gonna spread them out, some other towel on top. Put these to the side, and we're gonna start building our tart. Gently unfold the puff pastry. One side has more flour on it than the other side. Now I like to put the floured side down. It's just so close. Basically, we're just going to gently roll the dough out, just enough so that plate will fit. Here we have it rolled out just big enough. Gently place the plate on top. We're going to run our knife around the perimeter. I'm just going to take our fork and gently press down. As the dough warms, it might start sticking like it is right now, but that's okay. You just have to use one hand to keep the dough in place. Using our rolling pin, we're going to just gently roll the dough up. The dough is getting a little warm. It's sticking to the rolling pin, so I'm just going to gently place it in, pop this in the refrigerator. We're gonna let it cool so that we could push the edges in right now. Okay, first I was kind of frustrated that it was sticking, but it's actually worked out really well, because then you guys are learning something, that if it does start to stick, all we have to do is pop the dough in the refrigerator to let it just cool and set up. So basically we're just gonna push in the sides, and then we're gonna take a fork and we're gonna dock the bottom of the dough over the entire thing. And we're gonna place this in the refrigerator to cool. We have our cold puff pastry, we have our cold cashew cream, we have our cold onions, and then of course we have our zucchini, which is room temperature, but that is fine. We're gonna start with a generous amount of cashew cream on the bottom. I'm gonna start to spread the cashew cream, cover the entire bottom. Just spread the cashew cream all the way to the edge. We want that nice thick layer. Now we're gonna add our onions. Make sure you stir up the onions. All that beautiful liquid settles to the bottom. Try to spread a nice even layer of the onions. It works out to be about 1 onion per tart. For the zucchini, I like to take the strip of zucchini and make a shape like that, kind of like a circle. And we're gonna put the first one right in the middle. And we're just gonna repeat. We're gonna basically start making a pattern. It's gonna go around the entire tart. We're gonna slightly overlap. And it's holding its shape nice. So we pulled out enough water that it's flexible, but not so much water that it just collapses on itself. I really want to keep some of that texture of the zucchini. We're just going to continue to fold, making that circular pattern. The finishing touch before we go in the oven is just a light drizzle of olive oil around the zucchini. And we're set. Our zucchini tart, 425 for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, we're going to reduce the heat to 400, cooking for roughly 30 to 35 minutes. And we're back from the oven. A little bit of roasting on the edges of the zucchini. It's set up perfectly. Bam, the tart's out of the oven. I love how it just poofed up a little bit around the edge. There's a little bit of roasting on the zucchini. It just looks like I need to take a bite right now. So let's cut a big wedge. Ooh, look at that. Yo, that's what I'm talking about. That right there looks so good. Look at that, it's perfect. I am really come to appreciating the simplicity of this. We have cashew cream, it's rich and savory. We have the onions, which are sweet, and they have that red wine vinegar, bringing some balance to it. And then we have the green zucchini, which is just full of freshness, and then it's just lightly roasted on the outside. And then of course, puff pastry. You can never go wrong with puff pastry that's crispy and delicious. Pair all that together, and we have a tart that I honestly think you could probably eat this once a week with a side salad throughout the rest of summer. So we found a great way for you to utilize all of your zucchini this year. And as always, I'll see you next week. Bye.